Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Promoted Sandra. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make women trouser with pocket and a zipper fly. So the first thing I'm going to be doing in this video is to mark out 15, which is going to be serving as my side guide. So this is going to be serving as my waist guide, and this one is going to be serving as my side guide. Okay, the next I'm going to be doing is to go out by 1.5 inch, and this 1.5 inch is going to be serving as my band. So if you want your band to be 2 inch, you can go ahead to extend it to 2 depending on what you want, but for me I want my band to be 1.5 inch, so that's why I ended up extending my tape by 1.5. Okay, this is it. This is the 1.5 inch. So once I was done extending it by 1.5 inch, I'm just going to go ahead to impute my hip line. So my hip line is 8, my crotch line is 12. For us to get our tie, what we are going to be doing is to go down by 3 inches. Okay, for you to get your tie, you need to go down by 3 inches. So I'm going to be coming down by 3 inches. If you are very fat, you can come down by 4, but the standard measurement is 3 inches. So I'm just going to come down by 3 inches. So once I was done doing that, I'll still place my tape and go out by 1.5, okay, which is serving as my band. Just see the way I'm placing my tape, as you can see. Then I will come down and mark 20, which is going to be serving as my knee line. Then I'll go ahead to impute my full measurement, which is my trouser length. Okay, so I ended up adding 2 inch for the folding allowance. So I'm just going to extend the straight line to the down. So once I was done, I'll go ahead to extend all the lines across. So I'm just going to go ahead to label it. This is going to be serving as my waist, hip line, crotch, thigh, knee. So I'm just going to go ahead to start imputing my body measurement. So the first I'm going to be starting with is my hip measurement. So I'm going to be dividing my hip by 4, and then I will add 1 inch is allowance. Okay, so my hip is 42 divided by 4 is going to give me 10.5 plus 1 inch is going to give me 11.5. so I'm just going to go ahead to mark 11.5 across like this. Then I'll come to the waist and mark 11.5 as well. Then I'll come to the crotch line and mark 11.5. Please take note of what I'm doing. This is the crotch line, so I'm just going to be joining the points together from my waist to my crotch line. So I'm just going to join it together like this. So once I was done doing that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to divide the measurement I have here, which is 11.5 by 4. So I'll fold my tape like this, then I'll go ahead to fold it again. So what I have here is almost 3, but not up to 3. So I'll go ahead to add it. So I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. So I went ahead to add it, which is 3. Then from this point, this center point here, I'm going to go up by 1 inch. I'll just use my curve rule to join the points together like this. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to take my waist measurement. So my waist is 32 divided by 4 is going to give me 8. So I'm just going ahead to mark at 8, as you can see me doing. Then I will add 1 inch as my stitching allowance. Then another 1 inch, which is going to be serving as my dart. So I will take my curve rule and draw. And I draw a straight line from my waist down to my hip line, okay, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to divide my crotch by 2, 40.6 inches. So I'm just going to fold it into 2. So now that I was done dividing it, I'll go ahead to mark it like this. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll go ahead. This is it. This is the division. Okay, so I went ahead to place it. I'm going to be doing same for the down. So I'm just going to go ahead to draw a straight line across. Once you are done drafting yours, you are going to have something like this. So the next thing we are going to be doing now is to impute our thigh measurement and also our knee measurement and also our ankle measurement. For the thigh measurement, my thigh is 28. 28 divided by 2 is going to give me 14. So what you are going to be doing is to divide 14 to 2 like this. This is 14. I just want you guys to understand. So this is 14. So once you are done dividing 14 to 2, it's going to give you 7. Okay, so you are going to place that 7 at the middle. So divide yours, whatever you have. So I will go ahead to place the 7 at the middle. So the 7, which is the point, is going to be at the middle, and I will go ahead to mark at like this. Then I will come here and mark 14 as well. Then I will come to my knee. My knee is 17. 17 divided by 2 is going to give me 8.5. I'm just going to divide 8.5 right away. So you placed it at the center here and mark at 8.5 here. My ankle is 10. 10 divided by 2 is going to give me 5. 5 divided by 2 is going to give me 2.5. So I'm just going ahead to mark at 2.5 and mark 2.5, which is going to give me 5. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to draw out a straight line from my crotch line to my thigh. Okay, like this. So guys, I'm sorry, I quickly want to correct something. The thigh I'm working with is 26 and not 28. Sorry guys, so I'm just going to take the measurement at this point again. Okay, so it's 26 and not 28. 26 divided by 2 is still the same thing. Just divide whatever you have by 2, then divide by that 2 by 2 again. So 26 divided by 2 is going to give me 30. 30 divided by 2, so I'm just going to divide 30 by 2, which is going to give me 6.5. This is 13. I folded my tape into 2 like this, so 6.5. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead to mark that 6.5 over here. I just want to correct it. Then I will come here and mark 6.5. Then I will draw a straight line from this point to this point as well, and I'm going to be doing same for this side. So from this crotch line, I'm just going to be using my curve rule to draw a curve from this place like this to join the points that I marked here. Okay, which is this. Then I'll go ahead to mark a straight line like this. So this is the down part of the trouser. If you see, this is my trouser length, okay, and this is the sewing allowance. I'm not going to be marking it straight. I'm going to be marking it slant. I'm going to be slanting it like this, okay, so that when you want to turn it, it will be very, very easy for you to do. So once I was done doing it, the next thing we are going to be doing, is to come to this straight line here and take our dart. So our dart is going to be, the length of our dart is going to be 4. So don't forget to actually took out 1.5 as our band. Okay, so I'm going to be marking 4. I'm going to be taking out the 1.5 before I mark out the 4. So this is the point. I will go out by 1/2 inch, then come in by 1/2 inch, which this is going to be serving as my darts. While for the zipper flare, we are going to be going out by 2 inch. Come here at the hip line, go out by 2 inch as well. I'm going to be joining the points together like this. So once I was done joining the points together, then I will just take my curve like this and draw a curve line just like this. So I'm just going to go ahead to cut out this right away. Please pay attention to this point, this place. You're going to be cutting it like this. Before I cut the back side, I'm going to go to the down. I'm just going to fold it in just like this. Watch out what I'm doing. As you can see, you are going to be seeing this excess over here. I'm just going to cut out that excess. Okay, so when I'm folding it in, it will not be stressful. Here there's just small excess, so this is how it's going to look like. So guys, I've gone ahead to place the front pattern of this at the back. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is to use my pin and pin it like this. So what I'm going to be doing is to take this flap back. Okay, the reason I'm taking it back is to enable us to draft the back side perfectly. So right now I'm going to be adding 2.5 to the back side, which is the cross line. So I'm going to be adding 2.5 for me. So if you are slim, just make use of 2. Then once I was done doing that, I'll go ahead to mark 2.5 round. So once I was done doing that, I will come to the waistline. So I'm going to be taking my measurement from this point to this point. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is to bend my tape like this and divide it by 2. So whatever I have, I will mark it. This is what I have. I'll mark it here. I'll go ahead to draw a curved line from this point. I will place my ruler like this. Whatever you have, just go ahead to mark it, irrespective of how it's going to look. So I'm going to be extending my cross line so that you don't get confused. Then from this cross line, I'm going to be coming down by 1/2 inch. Then I drew the line from this point to this 1/2 inch to make this 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm just going to be adding 1 inch round. I will come up from this place by 2. If you have a big hip, you can go up by 2.5, but I'm just going to be going up by 2. I'll just extend the line we had here. I will extend the line up. I will mark our waist measurement. Our waist measurement is 8. The 1 inch and sewing allowance as well. So I'll go ahead to add 1 inch round, just like as you see me doing. I will take my ruler and join the points together. At this top here, I will draw a slant line like this. So remember, we added 1 inch as sewing allowance, so I'm just going to be connecting everything together just like this. So guys, once I was done doing that, I'll just go ahead to remove this. So guys, once I was done, go ahead to cut it out. So guys, the last thing I'm going to be doing before I end this video is to input our pockets. Okay, so if you are still watching me to this extent, you've not subscribed, you've not liked, you've not commented, please do well to do so once you are done watching this video. And if you have any question, let me know at the comment section. For the pockets, I'm going to be going in by 2.5, then come down by 6. So you go in by 2.5, you come down by 6. This is it. Let me just mark a straight line across. Then from this 2.5, you can decide to slant your pockets like this. You can decide to give it any shape of your choice, maybe like this, or curve it. You can do it the way you want, but for me, I'm just going to be giving it a slant, like a curving slant, stuff like that, just like this. Remember, this is the flap, is still here, so it has not been cut out. Once I was done doing that, I will go ahead to cut it out from this place. Then once I was done doing that, I will introduce a new paper. This is it. So what I'm going to be doing is to place the paper like this. I'll place the paper like this, just like as you see me doing. So I'll go ahead to pin it down. Once I was done pinning it down, I will cut it out. Just watch out what I'm doing, please. Then once I was done doing that, I will remove the pin. This is how it's going to look like. Okay, so I'll go ahead to fold it like this. You can determine how wide you want your pocket to be and how lengthy you also want it to be. So this is how it's going to look like. So once I'm done folding it into two, you can see how it look like. So once we are done sewing it, this is how it's going to look like. So just go ahead to place it very well. So once I'm done placing it, I'll go ahead to pin it again so I can introduce my new waist measurements. Okay, so I'll pin this space in. I'll just take it back so that I'll be able to determine my waist. Remember, our waist was 1 inch for stitching allowance, then 1 inch for darts. So this is our new measurement. So what I'm going to be doing next is to use my curve rule to draw a new waistline. So guys, watch out for the sewing tutorial. Watch out to see how I'm going to be cutting this on our fabric, how I'm going to be sewing the zipper fly and all that, how I'm going to be adding my zip to this zipper fly. So just watch out for the sewing tutorial, and please turn on post notification for me. Subscribe if you've not subscribed, share with your friends and your loved ones, and thank you very much. See you on my next video. Bye.